Alright, everybody, Donald Trump just humiliated the United States on the world stage, and honestly, the second-hand embarrassment I am feeling right now is physically painful. I mean, we are watching a man who is completely unraveling, physically and mentally, right before our eyes, and the media is treating this like it's just another Tuesday. It is not normal. It is unhinged. Today, Donald Trump met with President Zelensky, and instead of projecting strength, instead of showing leadership, he showed up confused, rambling about bribes to the press, and you are not going to believe this, wearing heavy, mismatched makeup on his hand to hide injuries. I'm not joking. This is the timeline we are living in. Let's get right into the painted hand scandal because it is a literal and metaphorical cover-up happening in real time. If you look at the high-resolution photos coming out of this meeting today, specifically the ones from the Associated Press, you can clearly see Trump's right hand is covered in a thick layer of orange makeup. It's concealer. It doesn't even match his skin tone. It looks like he dipped his hand in the same stuff he puts on his face, and it's only on the right hand. The left hand looks completely different. We saw the bruises earlier this week, those deep purple marks that looked like he took a fall or had some kind of medical procedure, and instead of addressing it, instead of being transparent like a normal president, he just paints over it. It is bizarre, it is squirmy, it is the definition of weak. He's sitting there next to Zelensky, a guy who is literally fighting a war for his country's survival, and Trump is worried about his vanity. He's worried about covering up bruises with bad cosmetics. It's a literal cover-up on his body, and you have to ask yourself, if he's trying this hard to hide a bruise on his hand, what else is he hiding? What is going on with his health? Because healthy, robust leaders don't walk around with hands caked in orange paste to hide purple welts. They just don't. But the makeup is honestly the least dangerous part of what happened today. The behavior, the cognitive decline, it is accelerating. There was a moment caught on a hot mic that is it's batshit crazy. Trump is sitting there, the press is assembled, and he starts offering them food. Okay, fine, but then he starts rambling. He looks confused and he asks the reporters, quote, "Would you like some food, or do you consider that a bribe? If you eat, you can't write a bad story?" He's rambling, he's slurring, he doesn't know where he is. He's treating the free press like they're cheap dates he can buy off with a plate of cold cuts. It's not a joke. It's the rambling of a man who has lost the plot, and this isn't an isolated incident. We have to connect the dots here. Just last week, literally a few days ago, we watched this man struggle to read a number off a teleprompter. He couldn't read one for 5000. He stumbled, he froze, he couldn't get the words out, and now he's sitting next to a world leader, making weird jokes about bribing reporters with lunch. It's disgraceful. And then the betrayal. This is the part that should make every American furious. While sitting next to Zelensky, while the cameras are rolling, Trump actually said, quote, "I think Putin is serious about peace this time. I think he wants to make a deal." Are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? Putin is serious about peace? Vladimir Putin literally bombed Kyiv last night. While Trump was sleeping, while he was getting his hand painted orange, Russian cruise missiles were raining down on civilians in Ukraine. That is the reality. And Trump is sitting there gaslighting the entire world, gaslighting Zelensky to his face, acting like Putin is some misunderstood peacemaker. It is a complete detachment from reality. It is dangerous. It signals to every dictator in the world that the President of the United States is an easy mark. He's a sucker. You can bomb a capital city, and the next day Trump will go on TV and say, "Oh, I think he wants peace." It is weak. It is submissive. Now, I want to take a second here. I want us to take a deep breath and imagine just for 1 second if this was Joe Biden. Can you imagine the hysteria? Can you imagine the wall-to-wall coverage if Joe Biden showed up to a meeting with a foreign leader with his hand caked in orange makeup to hide bruises? Fox News would be running a 24-hour special called The President's Health Crisis. Sean Hannity would be bringing in dermatologists, forensic pathologists, and body language experts to analyze every pixel of that hand. They would be demanding his medical records immediately. They would be screaming that he's physically unfit, that he's hiding a fall, that he's on blood thinners, that he's dying. If Joe Biden joked about bribing the press because he was confused, if Joe Biden said Putin wants peace while Kyiv was burning, the calls for the 25th Amendment would be deafening. The New York Times would have 5 opinion pieces up by now asking if Biden is mentally competent to hold office. But because it's Donald Trump? Because the bar is in hell? We just shrug. The media treats it like, oh, that's just Trump being Trump. No. That is a double standard that is destroying this country. We cannot normalize this. We cannot let them grade him on a curve. When a Democrat stutters, it's dementia. When Trump paints his hand orange and praises a dictator who is bombing civilians, it's unconventional diplomacy. It is sick. It is absolute hypocrisy. And this brings me to why this actually matters to people like you and me. Why does this matter to Gen Z? Why does this matter to the working class? Because while Donald Trump is playing these games, while he's obsessed with his image, while he's covering up his bruises and sucking up to the Epstein class of dictators, regular people are getting crushed. We have a housing crisis. We have an affordability crisis. Young people cannot afford to buy homes. We are drowning in student debt. And who is Trump fighting for? Is he fighting for us? No, he's fighting to protect his own ego. He's fighting to help Putin. He's fighting to keep the grift going. There is a clear divide here. It's the elites versus the rest of us. Trump is the ultimate elite. He is the definition of the Epstein class people who think the rules don't apply to them. He thinks he can hide his health issues. He thinks he can lie about foreign wars. He thinks he can treat the presidency like a reality TV show. While real people suffer. When he says Putin wants peace while bombs are falling, he is showing you that he doesn't care about human life. He doesn't care about the consequences. He cares about the deal. He cares about the headline. He cares about how he looks. And frankly, he looks terrible. He looks weak. He looks confused. And he looks like a man who is terrified that the world is finally seeing him for what he is. A fraud with makeup on his hand and a dictator on his speed dial. This isn't leadership. It's a national embarrassment. And we need to call it out every single time. We cannot get tired. We cannot look away. Because if we stop pointing out how insane this is, that is when we lose. I love you all. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.